Light. Welcome to Forfelliness Belly Snake Illumination from the Ancestors, guiding your path today.
Every day, someone's little girl, daughter, sister, girlfriend, fiancé, wife, cousin, mother, auntie, grandmother, great grandmother, elder disappears, shattering a family, a community, the world. There is something we can all do. Remember them.
Good morning, and happy Freyja. I hope today is that day that we've waited all week for, right? Because we're so excited. But today I want to talk about bringing that energy back to us, that we may use it to heal, to grow, to evolve to our next level. So before we get started, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you who have liked, followed, and subscribed. I can only begin to express my appreciation and hope that I have provided some level of wisdom and guidance for you. And if you haven't, please feel free to do so. As you know, all the contact information you'll need for me, Alaska ulfhednar, is available in the bio here on whatever platform you happen to be watching this on. Be sure to join us for live chat. It's available on all the platforms that we broadcast on. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends and family. New Reality TV, newrealitytv.com is a streaming channel dedicated to spiritual perspectives that can provide, hopefully, resonate and provide for you that piece of intellect that you need to be successful in obtaining a better mental space. So, today we're talking about Freyja, the goddess Freyja. And what is the goddess Freyja? What's so great about the goddess Freyja? Well, the goddess Freyja managed energy like no one else in all of Asgard. She is the most amazing of goddesses, in that she was even recognized by the other gods and goddesses as being the goddess of love and war. Normally we would kind of put those on the opposite sides of the spectrum, but realistically they are simply just a matter of identifying and managing the energies that we receive every minute of every day. Whether that be influential energy, whether that be spiritual energy, environmental energy, whatever it is, we're always receiving energy, and that energy can be used to benefit us and certainly our evolution and our healing and our growth. So it's super important that we kind of keep that as one of our skill sets. So what does that mean? Well, one of the things I've learned fairly early in my journey to my spiritual understanding is this idea that when we focus energies, we bring all of that down and we focus on one thing, we're sending it energy. All right. So, as an example, when we're doing meditation, as an example, or intrinsic reflection, and we're kind of quieting down, we're kind of null and voiding the physical sensory input, and we're going to focus. And one of the immediate things that we're going to look at for this idea of intrinsic reflection is by concentrating on a singular thing. Now, many will tell you to start off by focusing on our breathing. Great idea. It's something that we're going to do anyway, but we're going to focus on it. And what that's going to allow us to do is bring all of our energy emission down to this narrow point. Now, this other concept that you're going to hear a lot of is putting something in our third eye. What does that mean? Well, that sounds kind of odd, but nonetheless, our third eye is, I would more probably classify it as our point of focus. Because we can see with our third eye even when our two physical eyes are open. We can keep that third eye focused on something, watching something, seeing something. As an example, for those of you who are young parents, newer parents, you're at the park with your child, and you're engaged in conversation with other adults, yet out of the peripheral, you've got your eye on your child, right? You're watching your child. Some would say the peripheral view. Okay, fine. But you're watching your child through your third eye. Even though your eyes are open and you're interfacing with other individuals, and with short glances maybe over to the kid. But if your eyes are focused on the individual, your third eye is watching your child. This happens in a lot of our lives. When we are focused on something, many times our physical eyes will follow our third eye. So if we're focused on a particular task, third eye has got it. And most often than not, it'll draw our physical eyes to focus on whatever it is. This is called the idea of focus and energy focus. Whenever we're focused on something, whenever we have a concentration on something, we emit energy to it. Now, if we're walking down the street and we're just thinking of everything and everyone, our energy is just going out every direction, right? And so it's kind of being pushed out there. And we find ourselves kind of emitting energy everywhere we go. Now, you're saying, well, what does that mean? Well, have you ever been in a coffee shop and kind of waiting for your coffee, and you've made this coffee order that, sounds like the Book of War and Peace, and you're waiting, and you're standing just kind of off to the side there near where they're going to give you the completed coffee, and you can just feel other people around you. Maybe the busyness of the day, maybe some extreme emotion. Maybe you'll have anger or depression or something, and you'll pick it up. You can just feel it. Nothing gets said. Nobody's having any body language around you, but you're getting this feeling about the audience and or the crowd there. And you may have to step away. Your mind may say, oh, I need to step away from that a little bit. Why? Because there's a negativity. This is energy that all of these people are emitting. And yes, there's a lot of crossover, a lot of crosstalk going on. Boom, 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 boom. This is the energy that we emit, and we emit it all the time. All the time. So whatever emotional state you're in is the energy at which you're pushing out. You're emitting through your aura out to everyone around you. This is why when we go into crowded rooms, or we go into a an event, a large event, lots of people, you're going to gravitate towards certain people and repel other people, repel from other people. Why? Because your auras are picking up their energy and saying, I'm okay with dealing with that, or I'm not. So this is really the idea behind this energy that's constantly moving. It's coming in from the universe, from the environment, from other peoples, from a lot of different places. Energy is coming in, and you're processing it and then pushing energy out. This is, as we've mentioned before, this is where this whole idea of negativity comes into play, is because negativity is only exists on the physical realm, on the earth as we know it, and it's only manufactured by the human mind. That's the only way energy can be made to be negative in any way, shape, or form. It's the only place. So, being that we're accepting this energy, how we manipulate it to emit it is completely up to us. We've talked a lot over the years about emotional states and how our emotional state is so critical to the energy that we emit. So if we're in a happy mood, again, we go back to the mood ring. Remember that behind the sensory input? If we think about that and we're saying, to heck with that guy, to heck with that guy, oh, to heck with that other person over there. This is negativity, and this is negative energy that we're putting out. Or I don't like the way they dress, or I don't like the color of their skin, or I don't like their sexual orientation, or there's something about them that I don't like. That's negative energy that you're putting out, okay, and you're emitting it, and that way, those people whom are in that group or that you're identifying here can feel that, right? They just can. When we are truly harmonious, it doesn't matter what they are or who they are. It doesn't matter. That's none of our concern, none of our worries. We shouldn't worry about what other people dress like or act like, or as long as we make sure that we're maintaining boundaries and we understand those boundaries. What you do and how you act and who you are is, completely on you, right? So, when we focus third eye on something, we're sending an energy. And this works for the ancestors as well. As we go into prayer or into meditation and we start thinking about the ancestors, start focusing on that and go, What could my ancestors have looked like? What would they have done? How would they have lived? Who would they have loved? We focus on that. We're essentially sending energy into the spiritual realm to our ancestors, to our physical ancestors. But more importantly, we have to remember, once we leave this physical form, we ascend into the spiritual realm, there's no bloodline. Right? We're not blood related to anyone. We're spirit. We're a collection of energy. We have energy particles from a plethora of people and entities that we may or may not have any physical relationships with. Right? So everyone's an ancestor. Everyone's a descendant. Okay? So this idea that, blood matters, blood over wine, blood over this, blood over that, it's irrelevant. What's relevant is how we treat one another, how we find ways to be harmonious with other people. We alter our energy emission and alter our energy absorption to make sure that we have a level of harmony with other entities. So when we think about Freyja and her management of this energy to manifest things, for we know, based on the sagas, that Freyja would go on to teach Odin the magic. She would also bring the magic of the understanding of magic and the use of magic to Midgard. And she would teach individuals here on Midgard how to use energy for this magic. So we've spoken before about the levels of magic, but nonetheless, all of this energy management for manifestation purposes, whether those be physical manifestations or whether they be emotional manifestations, whether they be just mental organization, using our everyday energy to do that is something, is a skill that and a focus that we should work on. Here's why. All week, you are going to be sending energy out. You're broadcasting it. Maybe you're focusing a lot on a job or on your kids or on your family or on your home or on your cars, or you're focusing energy, but you're emitting this energy all the time. And so by the time we get to Freyja's Day, we really need to kind of turn the back loop, and we need to kind of bring back that energy. Or instead of focusing it in all these places, we focus on ourselves, about things that we want to move to, whether that be our evolution, whether that be our physical health, whether that be our mental health or our mental stability, maybe our emotional health, our emotional stability. All of these things are achievable through the management of universal energies. Many times I hear and I speak with people and we talk about them involving themselves in prayer and taking some time to just pray. And that's great. What does that mean? What is a prayer? Well, when a prayer is uttered in such a way that it's asking for something, dear the gods, bring upon me this ability to find love and to be loved. Okay? I've uttered a spell. Right? And so I'm now asking the universe to come alongside me and provide me with their energy to guide that spell I just cast to bring it to fruition, to find a relationship, to learn to love myself. Whatever that looks like, that's what we're doing. So we're focusing energy. My prayers, my personal prayers, is that I learn that knowledge and that intellect and that wisdom and have those experiences in this lifetime, that I may evolve to my next level, that I may grow spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, to become the greatest version of myself. Again, I'm uttering a prayer, but I'm uttering a spell. Now, I've asked the universe to help me achieve this objective. All things are transmitted, moved around, experienced, processed, are energy. It's all energy. Whether we're talking about auditory signals where we hear something, visual signals that we see something, smell, taste, touch, it's all energy moving around in throughout the cosmos. And learning to manage that is going to be a critical key for our survival, our evolution, and certainly our mental and physical health. They are super critical. All right, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about steps that you and I can use every day to make sure that we're focused on us long enough to heal and to evolve to where we want to be. So we'll be right back after this short commercial break. All right. Hey, thank you for taking that quick break with us. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends and family at New Reality TV. New Reality TV is a wonderful collection of spiritual perspectives that hopefully will resonate with you and provide you with some level of guidance. All right, so today we're talking about Freyja. And Freyja's gift to Midgard is simply the understanding of this energy. So let's talk about how do we manage our own energy. Well, firstly and foremost, we have to identify what energies there are. The key energy that you're going to have to spend a lot of time in managing is what I call influential energy. Influential energy comes from a multitude of sources. Primarily, you're going to recognize it as a sight, a sound, a smell, a taste, a touch that doesn't align with what we believe or feel. Because remember, once we hit the well of the self, we're going to go through the values, the virtues, and the belief systems, right? So if what we saw, smelled, tasted, touched, heard doesn't align with that, this is influential energy, attempting to change our beliefs, change our values or our virtues. Influential energy can be accepted or denied. That's our decision, right? So if somebody presents you with facts that contradict what you already know, we deny it, right? If somebody comes and tries to tell you how to change a tire, and you know how to change a tire, and the way they're telling you to change the tire completely contradicts what you know, we deny it. So too is all these other little facts that you may not be truly focused on, that we're absorbing. Advertising is a masterful use of this influential energy to now try to convert us and change our mind about buying a product. It's what it does. It's what it's designed for. So it's designed to attract or draw in your emotions, which emotions have this kind of, they can really cover the spectrum. Your emotional energy can be very manipulative, or it can be very subtle, or maybe not even recognized at all. So the idea is that when I provide this influential energy, that when that energy is going down through the well of the self, and the beliefs, the values, and the virtues are adding energy to the stream, these additional energies that are being added are going to be recognized by the horn of feeling. Remember, when that all comes back up, it's going to be recognized at the horn of feeling as emotional energy. It's going to kind of form the picture of how we feel or how we think. And a lot of times we may let things that we experience kind of trigger us. We're going to allow that, just that explosion of emotional energy when the biochemistry is reconverted back into energy. And so this has a tendency to create much more of an emotional push towards changing that belief or that virtue, that value that we have intrinsically. So super important that we recognize influential energies, and they come from all over. So we kind of have to be constantly kind of watching and paying attention to. Now, one of the things that helps us to combat influential energies that will arrive is living, is, really getting into the habit and the process of living authentically, being who we are, living according to those virtues, values, and belief systems. Don't allow those influential energies. And as the mind processing becomes accustomed to living authentically, focused on that energy stream, we find ourselves able to almost inadvertently deny energies that are diabolical, that are opposed to what we believe, right? So if it contradicts with what our values, virtues, and belief systems are, when we're living authentically, being our true self, those energies are kind of pushed to the side. They're not given as much credence, right? For the same reason, when we watch a commercial on TV and it looks like a $2 product that they're selling us for $19.99, we have a tendency to look at it and go, okay, yeah, well, whatever, right? Same thing applies. When we're living authentically, we can combat a lot of these energies that are compounding us every day. We can kind of deny them almost offhand because they contradict with living authentically. So Freyja teaches us that focus is the key to energy management. And this is where we see things like totems, the good totem that I use when I want to speak with Odin. And it helps me to focus all of my energy. All of this comes down into this piece. This is what's referred to in spiritual language as a totem. All right, so a totem. Many other totems exist. I wear Mjolnir as a constant reminder of my focus, bringing my focus back to that. Bracelets, rings, all of these things can help us to focus our energies down to a very fine point where we can now address whatever we'd like with that energy stream. So we focus on us. So one of the things that I encourage people to do over the weekends, particularly over the weekend, is spend a little time in meditation, in intrinsic reflection, where instead of looking at everything else, and we're going to close our physical eyes, and in our third eye, I want us to use our imagination and to focus on us, to see us, ourselves. And if you have an injury or if you have a sickness, I want you to see yourself in your third eye, in your imagination. I want you to now just see yourself healed or growing in the right direction or whatever it is that you want. I want you to put it right here. And I want you to focus on all of the details. One of the things that's really good about this exercise is, we can see the little lines in our face. We can see the hairs, for me, hairs on my chin, on my jaw, right? And I'm going to identify them. I'm going to see the beautiful eyes and the eyelashes and the brows and maybe the hair, whatever it is. I'm going to really drill down on the details of me. Now, many people think that's kind of weird, a little vain, but it's not. What you're doing when you're focusing on you is you're sending energy to you. Now, your body uses that energy to now, fire up the chakras wherever they are, right? Distribute energy to wherever you need to heal. Healing your physical form, healing your mind, healing, your spiritual mind. All of these things are going to be healed by this energy when we focus on us. So this weekend, when you're sitting down and you got a little bit of time, you don't need a lot of time. You just 5-10 minutes tops, and you can just sit down and close your eyes. And if you got like noise canceling headphones on, that'd be good. And we're going to sit, we're going to focus, and I want you to imagine you. See you. And if you have to, you could use take a couple of selfies of yourself first so that you could see what you look like. Maybe stand in front of a mirror. All of these exercises would be good to get a good, clear picture of you. And then I want you to spend some time, physical eyes closed, imagine you. Imagine you. When you're laying down before you go to sleep at night, think of you doing something, but look at yourself from a third party, right? So it's like an out-of-body experience, and you're watching you do something. And you'll be amazed at how much energy comes back and how much you're ready then for Mani's Day, which will come, all right? So use that exercise this weekend and try it out and see if it works. Again, remember, from all my teachings, you take what works for you. There's no subscription to this overall doctrine or ideology. There's just simple ideas that you can use every minute of every day to obtain a better mental space. And that's really what this is all about. All right? All right, my friends, I will see you again on Mani's Day. Remember, this month, September, I don't remember the date right off the top of my head, but we do have a drumming circle coming up. We will be out at the Akoutlaw Community Park drumming, hopefully sending energy to you and to you and to you. And hopefully we'll get some people out there to join us and in person instead of we typically have a pretty good following on the live online, but hopefully we'll get some people in physical form to show up and join us. So we will look forward to seeing you. Before that, though, we'll have Mani's Day, and we will relook at the use of energies and the control of those mental processes. All right? So enjoy your weekend, and I wish you all the best, and I will see you again on Mani's Day. Love and light, my friends.
Watching Ulfhednar's Belly Snake, a special production of Whispers of the Norse. Brought to you by the Alaska ulfhednar in South Central Alaska. Guidance and wisdom, courtesy of an ancient Celtic Norse shaman. Thank you so much for joining us today.